Okay, so before I get started on the main video, I just want to do a quick PSA. I'm going to be talking about UJAM and some of their plugins in today's video, and I just needed to quickly say that they have 2 free plugins that you should check out because they're free. Free plugins are always good. One of them is one of their synthesizer plugins. Well, the plugin itself, USynth, is completely free, and that's the plugin you need for any of their synth packs. And then they've got a free synth pack that you can get with that. I'll just open it up because I can't remember what it's called. Called Drive. It's got a bunch of great synth sounds in it. Pads, leads, basses, all the stuff you need. And then the other free plugin they have, and this is the one that I really like and I've used a few times on a couple of things now. This Fin Micro, which is a finisher. That's what the Fin stands for. It's one of these one knob plugins that down here controls what type of effect you're putting it on. So you can have a jet plane effect, big hair, old radio, and these are all different types of one knob effects where you could make all of these effects by combining a few different plugins like EQ, compression, reverb. Usually these types of one knob effects, they're multiple different types of effects put together into one button. It's a really simple little plugin, but it's got some nice effects on it because I think one I've used one of the delays, I think. I've used the auto pan effect on something because it was a really easy way to get something to pan back and forth. I just wanted to show you guys that quickly before I do the video because free stuff is always good. Hi guys, it's Emma, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome to the chaos. I do all things music related on this channel, from putting up show reels and covers to show people what I'm like if they want to hire me as a performing musician, to my favourite style of content, production and songwriting styley content. Today's video is more on the production and audio engineering side of things than on the creative side of things, but a little bit overlapping with the creative because today I'm actually going to talk about a plugin. And I haven't done that much on this channel because I am not an expert in terms of mixing and stuff. I've been trying out a variety of new plugins of different sorts recently. In particular, I have been looking for instrument plugins, and the one I want to talk about today is one that I have found quite useful personally during my little Inktober songwriting challenge that I set myself, where I've been writing a song for every single one of the Inktober prompts. A lot of production all in one go, so anything that was going to help me do the creative process as quickly as possible was stuff that I was leaning into a lot. And that leads me on to the plugins I want to talk about today, the Beatmaker plugins by UJAM. UJAM were actually a company I hadn't personally heard of before I was put onto them by Aubrey Whitfield, who I've been taking a course from. And so I got curious and I went and looked at the site and I saw that they do a 30-day free trial of every single one of their plugins. And I thought, well, I like that because, you know, a lot of the time with free trials these days, you only get 7-day free trials of a lot of different things, you know? And for plugins in particular, having 30 days to try it out before I decide if it's good enough for me to spend 60 quid on it, I like that. But anyway, because they've done a 30-day free trial and I was looking for stuff to use on my Inktober challenge, I downloaded 4 of them straight off the bat. I went with Candy, Vice, Nemesis, and Cozy. I picked them because they were the ones I felt were going to most likely fit into the style of songs I tend to do. And I've used them loads on these Inktober songs that I've been doing. So I thought I'd show you guys the plugins and talk about why I like them so much. So this is the plugin. This is Beatmaker Candy. I'm going to show you Candy because this is the one that I have decided I'm going to buy at the end of the free trial. I think I've got 5 days left before I have to buy it. They're all drum plugins. They look pretty much the same, just the overall aesthetic of the graphics is different, but they have all the same parts to them. So they have this bit and the little keyboardy bit down here and all the knobs down here. They're all the same bits on each of the plugins. The difference is that the different kits are designed for different genres, different styles. So this one is their main pop kit. So Candy has all of the drum sounds that you want for a pop song. Let's have a listen to a few of them. Nice kick, snare, claps, clicks. I've used this one quite a bit because I like that click sound in it. There's another kit. Another kit. Basically, you get the point. You got lots of nice pop drum kits. Nemesis has more big, beefy sounds. Think Imagine Dragons kind of drums. Vice is very 80s. Cozy is a lo-fi kit. Then, higher up the keyboard, from here I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. You have a bunch of sample loops. So you've got your one-shot samples of just your drum sounds, and then you've also got these loops. This leads me on to the one main thing I have about the plugin that I don't like about it. Okay, hi guys, this is future Emma just interrupting past Emma, or am I present Emma? Well, technically I'm still past Emma because not the point. Point is, I'm interrupting myself here mid-video because I had one grievance with these plugins, one thing that I listed as a negative that I would have improved on, that I have now realized, having learned more about them, I was actually just wrong about. There was something I was missing in the plugins. So initially I thought that the way that the loop section worked, because this was how I'd seen it demonstrated, I'd only seen the loop section demonstrated with, if you want to hit a key on the keyboard, it starts playing one of those loops automatically. So if you want to record it in, you hit the record button and then you hold down that key for that loop, and then the MIDI for that, all you would get is that one note that you'd held down on the keyboard. See, we've just got one note here. It appeared to me that you couldn't get the actual MIDI for the loop, which meant that then you couldn't edit that loop. However, I was just missing a section. I was wrong about it. I didn't know what this section over the top of the keys here. So if you look on the actual plugin, you see you've got the key bit down here. So when you press your key on your keyboard, that's the bit that gets activated, is this lower bit. But there's this section cut off at the top of each of the notes. And if I click it, nothing seemed to happen. So I wasn't really sure what this bit was or what it did. But I have since, been exploring the plugins more, and I've seen another video of someone using one of these plugins and demonstrating it more, and realized that I was just wrong about this, because this section at the top is where you find those MIDI files. If you click at this top section of the one you want and you drag it into your DAW like that, see, you get the MIDI file with all the MIDI of those individual drum parts. So now obviously I can go in and I can edit this. I might want to get rid of a couple of these claps. I might want to add in some more kicks at the end here. And I can go in, I can split up the MIDI by doing separate by note pitch, and then I can section all of these out and change the actual instrument on them, put in a sampler with a sample off splice, change the sounds. It's generally not good practice as a way to use loops to just literally throw a loop in and do nothing else with it. You're using that loop as a starting point, which you then go in and you edit, you delete bits from it, you change the drum sounds. You don't want to just use this as is, even though you've got a huge amount of ways that you can edit within this actual platform to make so many different variations. You still don't really want to just use it as is from the loop pattern that comes out as much as possible. Anyway, not the entire point I was trying to make. Point I was trying to make was that I was just wrong about that. So the one thing that I had as a negative to these plugins that I would have changed is not actually the case, because I just didn't realize that that's where the MIDI was there. And also I've spotted something else about how this section over here, the instrument section, because you can see these are also divided up and there's a top section. I didn't know what these did either, and I've just figured out what they actually do by just clicking along them now. And I've realized that if you look, as I click along these, this bit changes to whatever individual drum that I'm clicking on. So I can go in, and I can select maybe the clap, and I can change its volume and its decay time. I can change the pitch. I can change the amount of the filter on it, and I can even go through and actually select a clap from a different kit. So I could have that clap instead of the clap that comes with the original kit. Back to past me. I mean, first thing, obviously, I like the sounds. I really love the sounds of this Candy kit. They are exactly my sort of percussion, and I really love the sounds of the Nemesis kit and the Vice kit as well. I love the sounds of the Cozy kit too, I just don't think they're as usable and versatile for other things. I like that the sample sections, I like that they're separated into intros. Oh no, wait, no, these are my intros. And then verses. And then choruses. Wait, what does stop do? I've just discovered a new thing about it that I didn't realise. If you press down the key of one of the loops, and then you press that stop, it just stops it. But it doesn't restart if you lift it up. Okay. That's annoying. I would like it to restart when I lift it up as well. So I do like that. I like that they've got the different sections. Oh, I haven't actually looked at this section, so this bit. So I'm just going to see what this does exactly. Ah, so there are even... I didn't realise there were more than just the first set of loops. There are even more loops than I thought there were. There are so many loops. And then the other thing I really like is this mix section. So to make it even more customizable, what you can then do as well... So this is what our bass and our snare currently sound like on this kit with a shiny mix. So I can up the amount of shiny. I can bring the beat intensity down. Then I've got different styles of mix. So see how different that sounds just from, and that is to do with the EQ, the compression, and the reverb. That's what it's changing on that. So like we've got this saturate knob down here. So we can add more saturation. Ambience, oh, that's a reverb. We've got some really interesting effects getting thrown on it there. I can change the kit even more, which means the number of different sounds that I can achieve out of this one plugin are actually not quite limitless, but they are not very limited at all. There's lots that I can do to customize this. So yeah, those are the things I really like about it. I would sometimes, I think, use this plugin, or these plugins even, to actually have as the drums in my song. You know, I would probably add in some other samples as well. I wouldn't just pick one kit and just make my drum beat off of that alone. You know, I would look to add interest from other percussion parts and maybe beef out the kick drums with other kick drum samples. I will be buying Candy in 5 days when I no longer get it for free anymore. And at some point in the future, I will also probably get Nemesis and Vice. It's not going to replace the need to like go on Splice and find other drum samples to use, but they are a really great tool for creating quickly. I've found. I know I can trust that they sound close enough to what I'm looking for, that I can throw them on, they're going to give me the vibe I'm going for, so I can throw other parts down, and I can come in and I can do the producer thing of going through several different kick samples and several different snare samples to find exactly the right one later. I don't have to do that at the start of my session. Throw on a generic drum plugin, build yourself a beat, start building up 8 bars of something, and then go back in and change the drums later. And these Beatmaker plugins are really good for that. In the same way that the Logic Drummer is relatively good for it, except that the Logic Drummer tends to let you down because sometimes it can sound a bit meh. It just sounds a bit meh, especially if you're trying to get that pop sound. You really can't get that pop sound from the Logic Drummer. But yeah, I just wanted to share this plugin I found that I love with you guys, what I love about it, what I don't like about it. Then you can go away and you can try it for free for 30 days too. You know, go and try it for 30 days if nothing else. If you decide that you don't end up using them and you don't like them, then they're not for you. But, you know, 30-day free trial, you might as well give them a try. If you enjoyed this video, then there's a little button below that you can press that lets you subscribe to this channel. And I know that's a big commitment. You might not want to do that right away. So feel free to check out some of the other content on this channel first and see, maybe you'll hate everything else I create. But you never know. You might really like me. You can also leave likes and comments and all that good stuff, obviously. That's always helpful, especially if you have used the Beatmaker plugins yourself, or you know of other plugins, other similar plugins, other cool plugins, or you've tried any of the other UJAM plugins, because I've tried a few of them, and I haven't tried all of them, and I'm wondering which other ones I should have a little look at and have a go at. And just generally share favourite Beatmaker styly plugins below as well. As always, all of my links to my socials are in the description below, and also a link to my Buy Me a Coffee where there will be an outtakes from this video. And that is everything, guys. So I shall see you guys next week with another video. Bye!